Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Medicare Team podcast. My name is Sean. I'm a licensed agent here. And who do we have over here?
Mark, also licensed agent.
And today we're going to be talking about big life events when it comes to handling your Medicare. And to start us off with, we're going to talk about if you're planning on moving to a new state or just a different county in general, what you should do with your Medicare. You will be required to be switching to a different plan that is covered in your new area if it's, again, out of the county or the state that you're currently in. So that is why it's important to always touch base with either your trusted Medicare agent or contact us here at the Medicare team. Any thoughts on that, Mark?
Yes, I actually just dealt with this yesterday. Yeah, for anything Medicare related, it's always planning is going to be important. So, individual I was talking to yesterday had Medicaid in Arkansas, moved to Illinois, no longer eligible. So, his plan's going to be affected. Like money he could be getting back on a grocery card, anything extra benefits wise is all going to be affected. And it's because, I don't know if he looked into any of this before he moved. And, it's something that could have been easily avoided if you had given us a phone call like, "Hey, this is where I'm moving. What's available? What steps do I need to take?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, to make sure that you get help. Because after the fact, our hands are tied to
Mm-hmm.
what we can actually do. So,
Right. Yeah.
planning.
And as far as planning for that move, you have 3 months before you move, the month of your move, and even the month after to get that switch. Now, of course, you can still get that switch happened later on down the road, but again, you're potentially going to be losing your current coverage in the area you used to live in if you plan on moving and then not do anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to cover the next subject, Mark?
Said it perfectly.
Yeah.
What are we looking at for the next subject, actually?
So, if you're planning on retiring or fully leaving your employer coverage, what would you do?
Um, Again, there, you got to plan that out. So, in dealing with this, only a couple times that I have, like, you want to know when you're actually retiring, and then look into like everything that's available too, so you're ready to roll when that
Mhm.
date happens. Because again, after the fact, you're going to be stuck where you don't have an election period. Other things come up, as you know. So yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so as far as employer coverage goes, when you're aging into Medicare, Social Security at 65 years old, typically they're going to have you enroll in Medicare Parts A and B to start your Social Security. Now, of course, if you're still planning on working, you can have that coverage up until I believe it's 67 years old. And then with all that, delaying your Part B and mainly delaying the Part B because it's got a premium involved and you already have that credible coverage with your employer. So then, when it comes time to getting off of your employer coverage, again, you're going to have a special time frame where you can enroll in Part B of Medicare. And of course, you want to make sure you take care of that before you plan on ending that employer coverage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool. And
If you can find out like what you're going to be getting on Social Security, like income limits go into the part of your planning, and
right,
that's going to determine like if you have Medicaid eligibility, all those things that we can help you out extra with are things that you want to know too.
right.
You,
Yeah, and understanding what is the right path to go. We've discussed it in previous podcasts, but
mhm.
there's Medicare Advantage, there's Medicare Supplement. There's different routes for your specific needs. So, again, make sure you talk to a trusted agent and prepare yourself for after that employer coverage. And again, the time frame I believe is 3 months prior to again losing that employer coverage, the month of, or 3 months post. And then after that, if you do not get Part B, you will incur penalties. It's a 10% penalty for every 12 months you don't enroll in Part B. So you don't want to be incurring any late fees or any of those kinds of after the fact penalties.
No,
Yeah.
avoid those at all costs.
We talked to you name it, veterans, seniors that
Well,
have
that's
that.
yeah, no,
Mhm,
veterans, we've been dealing with that, I feel like me personally, more often,
mhm,
now because if they go to the VA, then, like, what are they paying for their Part B would be a common question that you get, right?
right.
Yeah, my answer to that, I don't know. It's a government thing there,
Yeah,
but, yeah, you don't wanna get the penalty. If you can avoid that, that's great. So look into definitely a give back. So,
mhm,
you're getting money back for that Part B that the government's making you pay.
right, right.
Always,
Mhm.
always Uncle Sam's after that money.
Yeah, and that's why you need to, again, trust the agent you're talking to, and again, here at the Medicare team, we're here to provide that care for you over the long run. It's not just a one and done deal. We're here for your lifetime of healthcare.
Yeah, that's the goal,
Yeah,
to be with you throughout the whole Medicare process
absolutely.
or even beyond,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
you know, before. Help you plan.
Exactly, exactly. So if you're losing a spouse or, becoming a widower, um, there's not much you have to do with your Medicare other than just handle um, taking care of your spouse who passed away, taking care of their uh, Medicare situation. Now, of course, um, that'll adjust your income level, and with all of that, there's going to be again different plans available for those who make a certain level of income.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything to
I don't
say
know.
about that,
Well,
Mark?
I mean, yeah, if you're losing a spouse, that's always a bummer there,
Of
right?
course,
But,
yeah,
that goes beyond Medicare there, though, where you want to, like I know it's more of a man thing, like, you wanna make sure you're setting up your family at that age, and Medicare, just your wife.
right,
So, another question you would ask for yourself is, like, do you have coverage for your spouse that you're leaving something behind, a final expense,
absolutely,
anything like that is gonna
yeah,
help. And, like, yeah, that's more of a man thing, I feel like, just to make you sure, like, your wife has money and
hmm
not
hmm
going for naught.
right.
So beyond
Mhm,
Medicare, that's something else that I know that we can help with, and, definitely people should always be protected fully for that too.
right.
You know that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. There's definitely been clients of ours that have come back, and whether they're thanking us for what we've provided for them or have dealt with tons of health issues and wish they would have gotten coverage beforehand.
Well,
So,
not only that though, it's not cheap to bury somebody
right. Right.
anymore. So you're leaving that bill behind for your spouse. I say keep saying man, but
Yeah.
a woman could possibly pass first, and
hmm
there's a bill that comes with that you want to have that covered too, and that goes beyond Medicare. But it's all things that you should have somebody that's there to help you plan with, that can have everything bundled up for you. That's what we're trying to do, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Set up the right package for you to protect you for the long run and in the future. Um, and, they say that the statistic is above 60% of people who go into bankruptcy is because of medical bills, because of these types of things where, a life event happens
Yeah.
and then they have no preparation for it. And so it can really put them in a hole.
To piggyback on that, another statistic that I know of is that 100% of us are going to die.
Yep. That's a fact.
You got to be covered for that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
It's hard to smile and be saying that, but it is the fact. It's
It's
true.
the truth. The Grim Reaper's coming for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is a guarantee, and that's why insurance matters.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Protect those that you love.
Right, right. Another huge statistic right now is 1 in 2 men get cancer in some point of their life. 1 in 3 women get
Mhm.
cancer in their lifetime. So again, it's
And
important.
yeah, I'm somebody that watches the news, and my wife is pretty anal about like foods for her kids.
Mhm.
I know that you deal with that too.
Absolutely.
How many foods now like have cancer causing stuff in them? I
Absolutely.
just
Yeah.
read some horrifying statistics on Skittles,
Mhm.
like that you're just putting poison basically into your body. But,
Mhm.
we're seeing cancer rates go up in our country
Right.
because of that.
Avoid the food dyes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, all that stuff, no, no good.
Right. Right. So what if we have like a significant change in income?
Um, yeah, that's like another Medicaid issue there, a
Hmm.
lot of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the theme really for us should be planning
Yep. Yep.
because, if you're set up properly, if you have something that comes up that you had money a couple years ago and you were pre-planning and set up the right package for yourself that, you're making less, but you went to the hospital and got cancer, you had something, you protected yourself in advance.
Hmm. That's right.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So,
Especially when aging into Medicare. Um, when it comes to like
mhm,
Medicare supplement, you're paying in advanced monthly for the protection you want, the coverage you want. And, when you age into Medicare, they're not going to do any underwriting when it comes to supplement. So we always recommend like try out a supplement first. If it's breaking your bank and you just don't find it to be beneficial for you in the long run, if you find that you're so healthy, you don't see any problems down the road, you can easily save yourself some money by going towards the Medicare Advantage.
mhm,
But the suggestion normally is go with supplement first so that you don't have to deal with any underwriting now. And if you go to a supplement later on, whether you're just looking for a lower rate or you've had a Medicare Advantage and going to a supplement, you're going to deal with underwriting. So that's where like any kind of health conditions come into play.
yeah, no, I was reading a little bit about that too. Like underwriting is a pain, but if you're somebody that travels a lot for supplements, like they're always helpful.
Hmm.
Um, particular, you're losing the network constraints.
Right.
But yeah, underwriting is a pain in the butt. If you have family history, that's something that you want to look
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
prior to that, then later, before that becomes an issue. Like once you hit 70, all that stuff becomes more of an obstacle.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And underwriting,
We're
you're good.
spiraling on topics.
No, you're good. Underwriting just means that they're going to do health background checks.
Uh-huh.
And of course, your rate when it comes to paying for a supplement could shift a little bit. If you're going into a new plan with some health issues, and on top of it, you could all in all be denied for a different supplement plan or getting into a supplement plan coming from Medicare Advantage if you're dealing with copious amounts of health issues.
What would you do if you were turning 65 today?
If I was turning
Like, we give our
65,
recommendations, but like,
yeah,
what would you do?
yeah, I mean, if I knew how my health was going to be at 65, I
Yeah.
could gauge it better then because your health matters
You're
way more.
65 tomorrow
Yeah, if
with
I'm
your
60,
current health
yeah,
conditions.
if I'm turning 65 tomorrow, I mean, I'm not going to be nervous to be going into a Medicare Advantage plan,
Right.
knowing that I'm saving myself a bunch of money, but at the same time, get myself a little extra coverage on top of it with hospital indemnity,
Yeah.
which is just a reimbursement for any of those higher copays that you may
That's
incur.
my thoughts on it. And no, I do like the thought of the supplement, but like for me, I've always thought I was like super healthy.
Hmm.
So I would want to just not have to pay the premium up front and just make
Right.
sure that had everything in network. Because I think if you plan it out for an advantage, you have your doctors in network,
Hmm.
that it's just gonna save you money. That's always been my thoughts on it.
Right. Right.
So I think that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to just, like,
And again,
throw
it's
that.
different for everyone.
It
So
is,
like,
yes.
if you know that you're going to be dealing with more health issues than the average American,
Right.
then definitely be going with a supplement. Like if we check in with what your health needs are when you're aging into Medicare and you're already dealing with diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, heart
Yeah.
conditions, anything like that, we're going to suggest supplement right away.
Get it out in front, yeah.
Yeah.
Try to lock in a rate
Hmm.
and, yeah, be covered because once you're not getting auto input into it, like, once you hit underwriting, yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Right. Right. A
It's
lot
not
of
gonna be
those
a thing.
issues they'll just decline you of an application later on.
Right.
Um, so, what other big life events happen, Mark, that would affect our Medicare or insurance?
I mean, I've had an unexpected trip to the hospital last year, and I'll tell people this when I talk to them on the phone, 'cause you don't know, like, if you had your magic crystal ball that you're like, on January 5th, I'm going to the hospital,
Right.
right? And I'll
Mhm.
be in there, then yeah, that'd be great to plan for. But I know for me, like, my saving grace for that was having a lower out-of-pocket maximum.
Mhm.
So when we're looking at Medicare, I say some people get caught up on the give back stuff,
Mhm.
give backs, grocery cards
The added
when you're talking to
benefits.
them.
Yeah.
But yeah, having a lower out-of-pocket max to me is as good as gold, because when I went to the hospital, it was certainly not something I expected, because I feel
Mhm.
like I exercise, I eat fairly good, I don't expect these things to happen, and
Mhm.
I would have been getting hit with, like, maybe $20,000 in bills if I didn't have any insurance, right?
Mhm.
And then if I didn't have a good plan where my out-of-pocket maximum was only 2,700, then, yeah, I still could have been getting on the hook for, like, 9,000, where we
Mhm.
see out-of-pocket maxes come in. That's the maximum for Medicare Advantage,
Mhm.
I think 9,250. But even, like, $6,000 is would have broke my bank at the time.
Mhm.
So that is something, like, when we're talking life events, I really think that's as good as gold when you're looking at any kind of health plan, even for us younger people,
Mhm.
not on Medicare yet. Lower out-of-pocket maximum is as good as gold,
Right.
'cause, yeah, I even
Yeah.
had to go to the ER again this year for kind of like the same issue, like gallbladder, like liver area, and those bills are not cool.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Not cool.
It's a safety
And
net, that
yeah,
max out of pocket.
right.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would have been something there if I would have had a hospital indemnity plan in place at the time. It's not something else I was thinking about. Um, then yeah, a lump sum back to me that I'm not now trying to set up a payment plan with the hospital
Right.
or doing anything extra. I can just boom, have some money. Here you go.
Mhm.
Maybe I keep some money for myself still.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes, life events like that are something you got to plan for, and out of pocket maximum
Mhm.
is something that I try to talk to everybody about, and keeping that lower is awesome.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, max out of pocket just means, like, that's the max amount that you would have to pay out of pocket for your Medicare in a whole year, in 12 months. It gets reset every year. It also
Mhm.
gets reset every time you switch a plan. So don't be just going looking for the best benefit there are on the plans
Right,
just to reset your max out of pocket, reset your drug deductible.
right.
I heard about, I talked to a client the other day that, got himself onto a plan starting last month and was upset that his medication costs went back up because he then reset
Didn't
his
know
drug
that.
deductible.
Well, that's when people are out shopping around looking at, "Oh, where can I get the best grocery card?" Not thinking, "Oh, if you have prescription coverage too,
Mhm.
yeah, you just reset that."
Right.
And then you ineffectively whatever money extra, like $50 extra a month,
Mhm.
whatever it might be, you wipe that out because now you're paying more for prescriptions because 'cause you're back at month 1.
Right. Right.
Yes, silly stuff like that that not everybody thinks about, they don't know about,
Mhm.
and that'll set you back financially, which is what we try to avoid for people, is
Right.
trying to help them out.
Goal is to save you money and make
Right.
sure your healthcare is set up right for you. Um, let's talk about, if you're eligible for Medicaid or in addition to, Medicare,
Mhm.
uh, who is the Medicaid clients? What are we gearing them towards, or pointing them in the right direction when it comes to
That's
Medicare?
different. Um, I mean, because in most cases, they're gonna have a subsidy for prescriptions,
Hmm.
so you're not worried about that resetting, and,
Hmm.
I mean, Medicaid, if they're in the right state for it, because they should have everything paid for by Medicaid, that's different. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Do they go
I
Medicare
mean,
Advantage? Do they go Supplement?
I don't think you have a choice there. They financially if you can afford it and get into a supplement, if you have a lot of health problems, then yeah, like, look into it. I don't think that's the case most of the time.
Yeah, Medicaid picks up a lot of that stuff.
Right, if you're on the Advantage.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But
that
I even, talking to someone locally,
mhm,
she got on Medicaid I think it was maybe a year ago, and she's full Medicaid and still is paying a premium for her
For
plan and supplement coverage.
yeah,
So
that's
that's
fun
where
to
I'm gonna
deal with,
help
like,
her.
guys that have TRICARE or VA,
Yeah.
and they get all their care there, but still pay for a supplement.
Mhm. Yep, it happens. I just helped someone like that
Right.
last week. Yeah.
No, and that's yeah, something there where wish they would talk to us before they would have gotten into it to tell them that it's unnecessary,
Right.
where you have somebody that's been in a supplement because, uh, his girlfriend was on it when
Mhm.
he was retiring. Even though he goes to the VA for everything, his girlfriend was on a supplement, so he's like, "Oh, yeah, I should be on that too."
Right.
Had it for 6 years, paid
Mhm.
200 to now 350 a month, hasn't used it once,
Mhm.
and it's all just because, like, no one told him the difference.
Right.
His girlfriend was on it.
Mhm.
Yes, that's unfortunate, and to the other point, like, when we were talking out-of-pocket maximum, yeah, I was just helping somebody out the other day who had a procedure, was in the hospital back in March, and didn't know that she was looking to get into something different just for the extra benefits too. And I was, instructed her to stick where she was at because, like from my experience already, once you hit the out of pocket maximum, you're not paying for anything.
Mhm.
So, like, you don't want to make a switch at that point in time.
Right.
So, like, go get whatever else you need done the rest of the year, and
Yeah.
insurance is covering that. And then when you want to look into the grocery card, then you call us back in October, and boom, we get you set up with the best one for next year.
Mhm. Right.
All things you got to have the right person there for you,
Mhm.
and just to help you out planning. And that's what I know that you do because I listen to you on the phone.
Yeah.
That's what you're
Yeah.
priding yourself on. That's what I'm priding myself on. Sorry, I was like spinning back on
That's okay.
topics there,
That's
but that
okay.
was fresh in my brain though,
Yeah.
because, I would love to be like, "Hey, Miss Erickson, let's get you $50 more in a grocery card because that's what you wanted. That's what helped you out." But in reality, no, you don't have to pay anything for the rest of your health coverage for the rest of this year.
Mhm.
That is going to benefit you so much more.
Right.
And I feel like maybe in Medicare and across the landscape of it, there's not everybody that's going to do the same thing there,
Mhm.
like we do here.
Yeah.
Is just make that recommendation to
Mhm.
save you money,
Right.
really.
Right. And, again, that's where it's so important. I know we're repeating ourselves at this point, but you got to have a trusted agent. If they're not asking you health questions about your health or about your health care and what you already have set up,
Hmm.
then, odds are is they're just trying to sell you something.
Right.
And so it's important to be able to trust the agent that you talk to on a regular basis or anyone that you talk to about your health care.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Any other
Uh,
thoughts, Mark?
Um, no, like I'm still harping on it because I know we were supposed to be talking life events today.
Yeah.
Is the out of pocket maximum. Like I love that whenever I could get it lower for somebody because it really did benefit me in my life. Because that's what the health coverage is for, like
Mhm.
more or less unexpected stuff. Because you can plan for everything, and then still have something else come up. You can eat everything the right way, work out,
Mhm.
still something's gonna pop up, and you don't wanna be getting hit with the gigantic bill when you can be getting hit with the manageable bill.
Right. Right.
That would be the ultimate theme there, and that, though, even goes for us, though.
Yeah.
That's not yet just Medicare age, that would go for everybody, because I know there's been a lot of changes in insurance and, the marketplace
Mhm.
where younger people like that are getting affected by it.
Yeah.
So
And if you didn't know, it would be a good idea to just check in on your healthcare every year. Supplement prices change every year.
uh
They're going up. Medicare Advantage plans will actually shift regularly, as far as yearly, I should say.
yeah.
They don't always stay the same as far as the coverage and what exactly they entail and the evidence of coverage and all that. So yeah, always be checking in on your healthcare once a year. And if you need to talk to someone you can trust, you can reach us here at the MedicareTeam.com. You can also speak to a licensed agent at 717-807-7649. And you can get a free consultation just by signing up on our website. Again, www.medicareteam.com/free. Any other thoughts, Mark?
Couldn't agree with you more on the last one.
Awesome. If you've liked this video, feel free to like and subscribe. Share this video with someone you think that would benefit from this, and we'll see you in the next one. I've been Sean,
Mark. Yep.
and we'll see you later.